Welcome to the most overrated, underappreciated, most viewed, underviewed podcast of all time. Welcome to, you guessed it, the Prince of Fresh Air, back with the most critically not acclaimed, charismatic man of entertainment, my man Dimitri. How you doing?
Yep.
So we got another quick take for you, and this one is real juicy, But Ellen DeGeneres, uh, if you don't know, she has been in the public news for a while, stemming since the pandemic. There's been a lot of stories published by TMZ, BuzzFeed News about former employees and a few current employees and some big time celebrities talking about the treatment on her show. And, before I get into that, do you watch the show? Do you have any are
No,
you a fan?
I'm not a fan of Ellen DeGeneres. I don't like her nor dislike her. I don't really know too much about her. And I think if I do watch her show, it's usually because she has a person of interest on her show. So,
Yeah. So basically, the thing is, what happened was there was a comedian that came out on Twitter, and he talked about how the treatment on her show was absolutely terrible. First of all, guests are separated from by VIP status apparently. So unless you're a big time celebrity like Drake or you know Robert Downey Jr., apparently the treatment is different. So he was talking about how the treatment is way terrible, and that this nice persona that she puts out is only for the camera. Then when the camera cuts off, um, yeah, it's a basically different person. Which obviously, I mean, if you work in the entertainment business, you kind of already know that some people are just like that. But what started was he started a Twitter thread, and a bunch of employees that work there or still work there, and celebrities chimed in, and it started blowing up the news. Hashtag cancel culture. Check that episode out. Wink, wink. And yeah, so basically all the negative things that have been said were about racism, bullying, and favoritism, and stuff like that. And before I get into that, I know you do acting and stuff too. Have you ever felt like your race or anything was questioned, or you felt like people treated you different because of your skin color
on a set, no.
on the set?
Um,
All right.
no.
Okay. But so one of the comments was from a black employee. And all these allegations are stemming from the fact that a lot of the producers and people that work behind the scenes of the show take advantage of the fact that they work for Ellen and that she don't do anything about it. So they use their power to advantage. But one black employee was saying that the senior level producer for the show said to her, "Oh wow, you have box braids. I hope you don't. I hope we don't get you confused with another black employee."
Wow.
Like, j- you know, just saying stuff like that, and then a writer for the show said, "I'm sorry, I only know the names of the white people who work here."
This
What do you
all
think
happened
about
on
that?
Ellen's show.
Yeah, this is what
Oh,
a former employee who is black said that.
racist.
Yeah, it's crazy the stuff that's happening now. Here's the thing. I'm not really surprised by this because I know people who has been interns for productions or been personal assistants, and unfortunately, um, some celebrities are just you know people got money, they got fame, and they feel like they run the show, and people that work around them feel like they're above you, not them, but people who work below them.
Right?
So
Yeah.
it's not surprising. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, not 100% surprising. Yep.
but I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think is that surprising to you? Like, what is your
It's
experience?
unfortunate. I just think it's really unfortunate more so than surprising that, you still got people who, portray themselves to be a certain way because she has a lot of black people, on her show. She's had black guests. And but then again, once black people, once they, attain a certain amount of wealth, it's no longer about skin color. It's either, you're either rich people, poor people. So she might not even view them as black. She just might view them as fellow, rich people who, got, the same amount of resources that she has. But nonetheless, it's still, very unfortunate that you have people who got to go through that, overt racism in like 2020, 2019, however long ago that happened. And, I mean, I think she canceling her show?
No, actually, another season is premiering real soon, and
Oh,
apparently she said she's going to address it.
she gonna address it. I mean, to me, it just the only reason why she make changes because she got caught, or those racist business proceedings and procedures got brought to light. Not because she actually changed her mind or anything like that. It's just because the media forced her to do that, because obviously if it got any worse for her, then I put it like this, man. People of the, I say white people, they just get a pass, for certain things that black people don't, because you know the fact that she's going through all this. Well, then again, I take that back, because wasn't there a show called Roseanne, and then she said something racist,
Oh,
and then her show got canceled?
yo, she said something ridiculously. I can't remember what it was, but it was about black people, and it was pretty absurd.
Right. But basically, not everybody gets a chance to rebound, after that. And like I said, hopefully, you know, uh, she'll just change the way that things are being operated over there, and black person can go, like I said, be an intern, be a audience member, whatever, and you shouldn't have to worry about, oh, is this going to happen to me because I'm black? Because that's not a cool way to live. You know what I mean? Having to constantly look over your shoulder because of the color of your skin, which is pretty feeble and immature in like elementary school, if you ask me.
Now, to be fair to Ellen, I will say most of the people who talk about her are celebs, and it's just basically like they feel like unless you're considered elite VIP status, apparently there's a rule where you're not supposed to look at Ellen unless you're a VIP,
Mm.
and then they don't even have their own bathroom, so they have to share. I mean, it's not supposed to be meant as a derogatory statement to like the workers, but they have noticed that unless you're some big time celebrity, that you're pretty much treated like crap. You can't look at her, you can't talk to her until you're in front of the cameras, which is pretty. I thought it was pretty weird and strange. Um, so I would defend her on that part. It's not, a lot of the more vicious comments are about the producers, which is the next one I'm gonna get into. So a bunch of employees also said that the head writer, also executive producer Kevin Lehman, asked. Basically, he took advantage and he was doing a lot of sexual misconduct, and apparently he was asking uh, employees to give him hand jobs and oral sex, and he was groping production assistants and making sexual explicit comments at lower level employees, and just saying that is all nonsense and it's not true. And then apparently the executive producer at Glavin had a reputation of for being handsy with women and creepy touching them, and basically a lot of them are doing this because what is someone who's a PA going to do? You know what I'm saying? What is a regular employee at you know Allen's going to do? He can't do nothing. Can't get him fired. He has more power than them. And I mean, this all goes back to the whole Me Too movement with Hollywood, where a lot of executives and people who have some power are taking advantage and treating people like scum and being nasty. I mean, I don't. To be honest, I don't think Ellen is the problem, but I do think because it is her show, there has to be some consequences. I think
Right.
this shouldn't be going on. Employees shouldn't be feeling unsafe at work. And you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if an employee at McDonald's said the manager was grouping them. He'd be fired on the spot. They're not going to sit
On the
around
spot.
on the spot. And I hate to say this because obviously we're both people who are trying to break into the industry, but I've seen, there's countless stories of people getting away with stuff because they know a big time, director or big time actor,
Mhm.
and it's not gonna affect them, and you're a liar, and it's just sad to see, man. Like, so I wanted to ask you, like, do you think Alan should be canceled or?
I'm not that big into cancel culture like that, but like this, she should make changes. Whenever she does open her mouth or whenever her show does come back on, it should be evident that it won't happen again. And if there are, more complaints that, things are the way that they are and all the other types of stuff, then yeah, she shouldn't be on TV anymore. I mean, because it's wrong, period. Because she doesn't have to worry about things like that. So why should black people? You know?
Right. And
And,
and
it's,
th-
and it's, especially like I said, people get sexually assaulted and all that stuff, sexually harassed. Like, no one deserves to be in that position. And yeah, so all that is going on her watch, on her dime, on her clock. Fix it ASAP. But then again, I mean, I want to say that's an industry where things are okay, but that, like Harvey Weinstein, that's been going on for a long time. And people knew about it, but no one said anything. Casting couches and shit.
oh man, it's this. I want to say this carefully, but this is basically an industry where some people take advantage of the fact that people are trying to work their way up, and and they'll do whatever it takes for them to get to the next level. And some people take advantage of that, and I'm not surprised about any of these stories, to be honest. I mean, you see it time and time again. Some type of power executive or someone with celebrity status taking advantage of others, and getting handsy and stuff like that. Like, it'll never have. I mean, it'll never change, no matter how much people will clean up. I personally don't think Ellen. Well, first of all, I don't watch Ellen. I mean, yeah, I'll watch maybe one or two highlights on YouTube every 6 months, but I don't watch Ellen. At the same time, I'm not gonna ruin her career and her way of making money just because people that work for her show are being
Rotten apples.
yeah, rotten apples and being skis balls. Um, I think I we'll see. I mean, obviously, she didn't apologize and quote unquote on time, or people feel like it's just a way for her to to gather sympathy for the new season for her show, and she'll address it. If she addresses it and come full clean and say, "Okay, I've heard all the complaints and there has to be a change," I'll be willing to hear that. But
Right.
if this is going to be we've heard about the stories and we're going to look into it. Nah, that's not good enough. That's not good enough because
Yeah.
time and time again, people say they'll look into it, and then
Nothing
you know,
happens.
and then 3 days later, they getting worried about their dog. So that's the last thing they think about. So
Yep.
that's my thing. I think people like the producers for that show are the ones that should be accountable, not Ellen. Even though it's her show, I get it. I don't think she should be
Cause she the
accountable.
boss, right?
She is the boss. It is her show.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, you the boss and you know what's going on. I mean, you gotta be held accountable for what's going on during your business, your establishment, because without her, without Ellen, there's no show. So she's got to be aware to a certain extent because, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she's heard about these things, but like I said, you know, she has a lot of stuff to do. She has a lot of things to worry about. So I'll give it a, I won't say benefit of the doubt, but I'll give her a chance to clean it up and figure out what's happening because everybody's rushing to cancel culture, which I've talked about. I'm not a big supporter in everybody just, I mean, unless you do something real scandalous like Harvey Weinstein, then yeah, I support it. But
Right.
rushing to get her show canceled because people that work under her are being scandalous and sexual predators and racist. That's not right to her. But I also understand it is a show; she has to take accountability for it. Uh, but it's been. I want to talk about it because this has been in the news for quite a while, especially on Twitter, where every day another person, whether it's just an employee, former employee, or a celebrity, talk about the harsh treatment of the show. And I
Hmm.
think Hollywood, look, it's 2020. You know, it's time that people gotta get their act together. I think that people should be on their toes about what's happening in the world, and that this time for a change. You would have thought some people would learn from Me Too, but
Oh, I forgot about that.
oh, the Me Too movement.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Look at you, you sexist pig! Unbelievable.
No, it's
Nah,
not.
I'm joking.
It's not even that. It's not even that. It's just that you know, those sorts of things is not really synonymous with the Me Too movement anymore. I feel like people just stop calling it that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's not, but you know how the media is. They kind of group everything together.
Yeah.
Because there are sexual things happening on the show. So, Tekashi again. Now, I know people are wondering, why are we talking about this fool? Or some people like, I love Tekashi. Let's talk about him. So, I got a special one for you. So, last time we talked about, the whole Train 9 court case and stuff like that. And what caught my attention to do this was I was watching an interview he did with Jake Paul and his pals, their whole podcast on his channel. And Takashi was a guest. And they got him filtered, and they were straight up with him like, "Yo, why are you putting yourself in these positions, and putting yourself in danger." And before I get into the specifics of the stuff he said, uh, do you think that he's wrong for what he's doing? Do you think that you know he got albums to sell? It's just something that he knows is gonna help pay his bills. Like, what do you think about it?
I mean, well, what is he doing? What, acting a fool?
Yeah, he's back to trolling, going to LA, Chicago, dangerous areas, just rolling up and showing people that he's untouchable. Do you think he's a fool?
Well, well, in this life, you reap what you sow. He grown. He can do whatever he wants. If it catches up to him, it catches up to him. But I mean, hey, I think when these guys actually come up and press him, he's like, "Oh no, it's just a gimmick, man. I'm sorry. That's just the type of guy he is." So I mean, it's probably gonna work because that's what he would do if he was actually back against the wall in danger. All he would do is apologize, say it's fake, it's just for the internet. That's it. And he's starting shit with entertainers. So I mean, I'm pretty sure they could maybe understand to an extent once they get that apology. So I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, do what you got to do to pay your bills, just like women on OnlyFans.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the questions was, they told me, it's like, look, man, you out here risking life, and you going all these places with security. A lot of people think that you're soft for that. Like, what's the problem? And this is what he said, and this was beautifully said. He said, look, XX I forgot how to say his name. XX Tekashi, the one,
Tentacion.
yeah, the one that died 2 years ago. He was
Yeah, that
rolling
was crazy.
around. He was in his hometown. And he used to ride bikes apparently in his neighborhood. But one day he was in a car and he had $50,000, and he was in
His
his own
I8.
neighborhood, and someone rolled up and shot him. And the first thing was, people say, where was the security? Then Pop Smoke was another one. He was just living his life, and four teenage dudes decided they want to get the jump on him, went to
Yeah.
the place he was running his house, and killed him. And people said, where was the security? Same
Yep.
thing with Nipsey Hussle. Someone rolled
Where's
up
the
at him and got,
security?
where's security? And now Tekashi has security, and people calling him out for it. So
I don't think people are calling him out for the fact that he has security, because I think we said on the last podcast, Drake doesn't go anywhere by himself. When you see Drake, you're going to see, big security guards. People are calling him out for just the way that he's conducting himself. That's like when you're a kid and then this other little kid hits you, and then he hides behind the teacher like, "Oh, you can't hit me." Like, that's the type of guy. That's what he's doing. People don't respect that. Like, if you have security because, for obviously safety reasons, you're famous, then cool. But if you have security because you feel like people won't be able to hurt you because you have security, because you're starting with people, that's a different story.
So he actually, so they asked him about that. They said, "Yo, have you ever, when you was in jail or when you was going through all the trials and stuff, have you ever thought about like toning down your persona and just finding just coming out and saying, you know what, I did it to provide for my family,
Nigga said
and I had
no.
to look out for myself and just move on." And he said, "No, you know why? Because nobody has done it before. Everybody, and this is what he said. He said, there's a lot of rappers like Meek Mill and Drake and a bunch of others that go around Chief Keef talking about, shooting people and doing drugs and doing apparently Meek Mill did a song called Rico, something that Tekashi had to face when the feds came. And like none of these dudes ever been involved. And he was saying that like people like Meek Mill, scream about gangs and stuff like that. But when he was in jail for 6 months, he was crying in the corner talking about this. I need justice. So I think ultimately what he said was nobody's ever done it before. Everybody was putting me down when I was at my lowest point, going through these cases. All the news media and people were talking about, oh, Tekashi's done. He's not coming out of jail. His career is over. And then he came out and proved everybody wrong. He made number one. He was able to go to different cities without nobody posing a threat. And he still is out here giving people money. And it just go to for him, it wasn't so much that he was doing it to continue what he was doing. Obviously, he's not going around putting hit calls on Instagram and stuff no more. But he wanted to show people like just because I went through a hard time don't mean I can't bounce back. And it was just a way for him to prove people I'm here to stay. I'm still the king in New York, and it's still my time to shine. So I mean, what do you think about that? I think that was honestly, I thought that was a good explanation for him.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and this is what he said. This generation, not the Tupac era and the Biggie era. Obviously, there were still people who were talking about all this violence and stuff like that, but were never a part of it. But we live in a generation where it's all about album sales and are people drawn to you. And people, despite how much people talk about him, people love tuning in to see him. And people always like Tekashi. And he was
Not
saying
me.
that, and he was saying that, look, people always got something to say. Everybody got excuses. Just give him my credit. Like he was saying that people thought he wouldn't get out of jail. He got out. He was going to die when he came out. He went to LA, he went to Chicago. I think it was called One Block, like the most dangerous town or whatever in Chicago. He's out and about in New York taking trains.
Right.
No, nobody did anything. People was like, "Oh, his rap career is over." Then his song with Nicki Minaj went number one, and the first thing people said was, "Oh, oh, it was because of Nicki," or "Oh, you just got lucky," and "Oh, it's you got security." And it's like, and I get him. I understand what you're saying. Like people just want him dead, and like just because he wanted to look out for himself and his family. And I personally like I have to agree with him. I think that's a wrong approach that people just let's just wipe him out the earth and stuff like that just because he felt that his family and the loyalty he had with these dudes wasn't worth it. If someone kidnapped you and potentially put your mom and your daughter's life in jeopardy, I wouldn't think twice. And I think people got to stop judging him based off his trolling and just look at the bigger picture. Like he did what
I
he
got
had
a
to
question.
do. Yeah.
So is it safe to say that you're a Tekashi 6ix9ine fan?
Yeah. I'm a fan.
Yeah, you a fan. Oh no, I'm just saying because like that wasn't expressly said. So I just wanted to make sure you said that you was a fan because you sound like you like the guy a lot. You like him.
Look, I'm a reasonable guy. Like this whole like I always said, like this podcast is always about being open minded, and I'm open minded to them, even if I didn't like them. There's certain people like the Kardashians that I absolutely can't stand. But I'm a realist. I like to look at things from a real perspective. I might judge you. I might say, "Oh, you're terrible. I hate your shows and stuff." But I also understand there's money to be made, and money is not going to be made by you just sitting around and crying and doing stuff that people want you to do.
Yeah.
I'm just a realist guy. Like I like to listen, and I understood his point. And one thing he did say was, eventually he would like to move away from the Tekashi character, as he get older. But people gotta understand when he got into the rap game when he was what 20. He's our age. I remember when I was 20, I used to do dumb stuff. I mean, obviously I wasn't famous or anything, but I did dumb stuff that people never knew about. Knocking on people's doors and running down the street or
Right.
going,
Yeah.
going in the middle of traffic and dancing
Yeah.
with my buddies. Like, he's a young dude, and people gotta understand there's a different era where everybody doing stuff for clout, for Instagram success and fame, and he's just one guy who found the recipe. And
Yeah, he found a cheat code, and I understand that. There are cheat codes to life, and when we talked about it before, there are certain aspects that I understand. Like I said, the whole court case, why he chose to throw certain guys on the bus. I understand that, but I can't stand enough that I'm just not a fan of asking for trouble, like throwing something at somebody and then putting your hands up, like, oh, I didn't do that. You know what I mean? Like, because to me, I just feel like that's what the guy is doing. If he wants to step away from the Tekashi 6ix9ine character, you can try. But once people kind of, or certain people, because there is a market for him, obviously. But there's going to be certain people that aren't going to forget the way that you portrayed yourself, and it'd be hard for people to kind of see you in a different light because of how you got on. Like me, if he could become a born again Christian tomorrow, but you're still an asshole. You know what I mean? You're still an asshole, but
I
like I
think
said, I don't. The thing is, I'm not. That's the thing. If you're somebody that you claim to dislike Tekashi 6ix9ine, and you check for him and you listen, his newest songs, and him doing this and this and that, then you're an idiot. I'm somebody where I forget that this guy even exists until we talk about the podcast, and then or we talk in the podcast, and then I get reminded that this guy is alive and breathing somewhere. And again, I wouldn't say I'm mad. Like I said, do what you got to do. He found his cheat code, by all means. But for my personal opinion, as far as like how he chooses to move, I understand why a Lil Durk doesn't like him, or Gilly the Kid out from Philly. Tekashi 6ix9ine wanted to do an interview with him, and he said no. Why? Because of how he conduct himself. It's like, I think he dissed Gilly the Kid like a year ago, and now you want to do interview me? It's not like Kanye and Nick Cannon where they have problems, but then obviously things weren't things didn't cross a certain line, so that way they can come together and do Cannon's class. But when you do things like Tekashi 6ix9ine, people aren't going to forget that. And I mean, I think he has problems with academics now, because I saw a link that said like the numbers were fake, or his album really flopped or something like that. But I'm like, what's flopping? I'm like, it said like 50,000. That's really not flopping, but okay. And then now they got problems, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll work that out. I mean, it's just he's just doing a job. And my only thing is this: like, I didn't want to talk about Tekashi, like, because obviously, like, it is what it is. But I just want to talk about it because I see a lot of people. I'm going on my timeline and my news feed, and I see people. Oh, look at this rat, and it's like, look, he's not Donald Trump. He's not the president of the United States. You kind of have to pay attention to Donald Trump. I mean, this is the country we're talking about, the president. But if you're going out of your way to share his articles and his music and going on his IG, obviously you like something about the dude. So let's just be real here. Like,
Right.
I don't like the Kardashians. I don't go on Kim Kardashian's Instagram or Khloe Kardashian Instagram to see what they're doing. I could care less.
If one of the Kardashians tried to holler at you, you wouldn't. If like one of them threw it at you, you wouldn't catch it.
I would probably say no,
Why?
because there's this thing about them that I just like. Like, they have a different lifestyle for me. I'm obviously being an actor is a way different lifestyle than being a reality TV show and messing around with the music side of the business. And
Because Kendall Jenner throw it at me, I'm catching it. Kim Kardashian, I like Kanye and everything, but hypothetically speaking, if she threw it at me, I'm going to catch it. And maybe Kylie Jenner too. I catch it too.
nah, I'm good.
All three
I
of them.
like maybe in the heat of a moment I think about it, but nah,
Nah.
I'm just one of like I have my own principles and my own self. I like who I am. I don't need just because you're famous doesn't mean like you automatically just get a pass because you are Kardashian. Like
No, they look good. Kendall Jenner looked good. She looked good.
yeah, but I can meet a Kendall Jenner on the street.
Well,
Kendall
obviously,
Jenner on
yeah,
the
like
street.
yeah, and that's pretty much with almost practically any woman. You could find, if you're rich, yeah, you could find another one that looks just like her. So, all right, I can't bag Rihanna, but I'm pretty sure if I go digging through Instagram, long enough, I could find another one that looks just like her.
No,
So,
well, Rihanna, yeah. I mean, I like what she does. So
no, Rihanna's put like this. Rihanna's distinct looking, but yeah, you could find like a Caribbean, girl that kind of, looks like her. I think Shade Room does that where there's someone who like looks like a certain celebrity, and then they'll post it and then see how people react. I've seen one of them, and then Rihanna was like asked her, "Oh, when's the album coming out?" Because she looks just like her. And knowing Rihanna, like she'd be on some like she doesn't look like me, or she would have downplayed it, but Shorty actually looked like her.
oh, I think I've
And
seen that one. Someone sent me.
yeah,
She
so
definitely
and
looks
then
like her.
if there's that one, then let's say there's probably like I'd say maybe another 100, maybe like 30 to 40 girls that can probably pass. Obviously, out of billions of women, there are a set amount of them that actually do resemble her. Like look, Chris Brown, he just got another version of his ex. I don't
Yeah.
blame him. I feel him. But when it comes to Kendall Jenner, yeah, like she looks good for a white girl.
Hey, well, if since we're talking about celebrity lookalikes, look, everybody keep thinking I look like Lil Yachty. So if they want to throw me on the shade room, hey, let me know.
Hey, if you want to do that, all you got to do is braid your hair the way that he does, take a selfie, and then make a freaking pick stitch collage, and then post that, send it to their email, and then that's it. That's it. Or perm your hair and then like paint your nails like this, like that motherfucker did. If you know which picture I'm talking about.
Nah, I'm good. Nah,
But yeah, but but that's basically how you do it. I'm pretty sure that's how you do it,
bro. But you know what the crazy part? Not to get up too much off topic, but it's crazy. Like my hair is wild. You've seen my hair before. It's my
right?
distinct look, and even with this hair like this, people still think I look like him. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, because just the yeah, like the face. I said that when niggas met on She's Gotta Have It years ago. I said that. Like I kept on like looking at y'all. I was like, yo, bro. Like I remember I was like, yo, I gotta tell you, but yo, you look like you're Lil Yachty.
Yeah, I
Bro.
remember that. Yeah,
Yeah, because I was like, yo, like that's what I see. That's what people say. I look like Chadwick Boseman. Rest in peace. You feel me? Like,
but you actually kind of have that distinctive look. Like besides the face, like you kind of have the short hair, and obviously you got the little goatee and stuff. But like you still have that. Like I don't have braids. I don't have red beads in my hair. I don't have red hair. Like don't get me wrong. I'm appreciative. People who want to take pictures of me, that's fine. But I just never understood. Like he has red braids, and I have black wild Goku looking hair, and I don't know. It's surprising to me.
I don't think dudes got red braids anymore. But basically, like I said, if because he twists his hair like a certain way, like some kind of form of cornrows. I didn't even know the name of the style. If you got the same thing, and they went out of your way to take a selfie that looked just like his, and posted it on Shade Room, people would know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's true. Is hopefully they pay me $50,000 for that.
Yeah, maybe.
But nah, man, it was good. Like any other final words about Tekashi?
Nah, I just again I forget that this guy exists. If you're everybody, why I don't want to say everybody because not everybody has the ambition, but if you're somebody that you want to escape the 9 to 5 and you want to get out of this flowchart ass lifestyle, out of the matrix and shit, you're tired of being a hamster on the wheel. If you find your cheat code, you got the cheat code. You know what I'm saying? If it rubs people the wrong way, but you got M's in the bank, that's a small price to pay. So again, in that aspect, I totally understand that. Would I do the same thing? Not necessarily. Would I want to be perceived that way or do the same thing? No. But, I get it. So, yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, at this point, I'm gonna just leave it like this. It's 2020. People, we have people out here licking stuff, licking ice cream at Walmart and putting it back.
That's disgusting, yo. Yeah, That's all right. That's not a cheat code. That's just being a freaking idiot. Because
But
that girl who did that, she's not rich. She's not famous. She's infamous. She's not famous. People don't buy. She doesn't have a business. She doesn't have no products, no nothing. Nobody's gonna buy, into anything that she's selling because they're gonna assume that she was licking it before she sent it to them, which is disgusting.
yeah, no, but it just goes to the point that people will do anything to get famous. And once you find a recipe, like they always say, any publicity is better than no publicity. Any parting words about it? Should I cancel you for not paying me?
Last I checked, you stole my quick take, so therefore you. We just talked about that, man. $5,000.
Whoa! You're not Native American. You're not Native American. I didn't steal anything.
5 stacks.
I just borrowed it.
I don't want to hear rebuttal. $5,000 for the quick take name, or I'm taking you to court, or I'm taking you to court, man. Legal action. Okay, whatever it is you're saying, it's not substantial evidence, dog. Okay, I'm not trying to hear none of that. I ain't trying to hear all that. $5K, 5,000 beans.
Hey, you are not Native American. I'm not Christopher Columbus. That's not how it works.
You have the $5,000. You have the $5,000?
Probably do.
I'll wait. Like I said, get it when you get it, dog. Get it when you get it. Don't make me have to loan shark you, man.
Nah, I got Chris Hemsworth to take care of my dirty work. I'll probably hire somebody.
Or busy. He ain't gonna help you out of this one. $5K.
Nah, he's my homie. I actually got dinner with him tomorrow, so I'll talk to him.
5,000 G's. All right, well, you let me know how it goes.
He's probably gonna say no, and I'm agree with him. That's not how it works. You come on my show demanding money, I feel hurt. I feel you. Nah, I feel like an employee on Ellen. All right, let me.
Anyway, but anybody who made it this far, please check out my YouTube channel, Mr. DJ-MDJ on YouTube. I got a lot of gaming content on there, my podcast, and quick takes, the original quick takes.
Wait, hold on. And believe this guy? He's just plugging in his show, his IG without the consent of the host.
Hey, you owe me $5,000. You don't get to have an opinion.
Hashtag me too, homie.
You can't afford an opinion right now. When you can afford an opinion, you pay me, then we can talk. But y'all check that out.
But aren't you on my show? Aren't you on my? The ungrateful attitude of these peasants. You know what?
Y'all check out my content on there.
Unbelievable. You can't do nothing with black people. Always taking advantage. But anyway, man, thank you for coming on the show. I'm still expecting my $10,000. And remember, a better hand is a